Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. And we're your fuck buddies.
We're a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and we turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we find questions either online or have them sent in by our wonderful listeners on the topics of sex and dating, and we answer them.
So, I apologize. Oliver's coming in with some loud power. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Beat that energy.
We got some powerful energy today. Oliver's purring very loudly, but you guys don't hear this a lot because I usually edit it out of the podcast because he says it literally every week. But Niall says every week, I have so many questions.
Oh, do you have so many questions?
No. Today we're doing only your questions and we're going to try to clear out some of this backlog. Also, we haven't done it in a while. We've done it once. Let's try to do a rapid fire session.
Oh, because... you know what? I tried to not get that many questions up today. I only have 13.
Well, perfect. Let's see if we can get through all 13.
Is this just an excuse for you not doing any work?
Hey, this is an excuse of me forgetting that we were recording a podcast today.
Because you motherfucker.
We've recorded like 7 this week.
I was trying to save more for our next recording, but okay, you know what? Fuck it, let's go. Pick a number between 1 and 13.
Let's start with 7.
Friend came over drunk and asked me to be his girlfriend, but in the morning, he had no memory of it. This is by Desperate Metal, 8008. So I, 24-year-old female, have known him, 27-year-old male, for 6 years. We go to college together. We've been friends from the start. From November 2020, we started hooking up in a friends with benefits deal, and it's been awesome. We don't go on dates. There's never been any space for romance. Only last time we kind of had some deep talk about our love lives. He asked me why we're single and said anyone would be lucky to have me as a partner. So Sunday night, suddenly he messaged me saying he's coming over. Got here super drunk and just spilled it. Word vomit. Said he loved me and would forever and that he wanted to be my boyfriend and take care of me. He was super serious about it and I said yes with my heart racing and he blacked out on my couch. Next morning, I could tell he wouldn't remember a thing. He seemed confused as to why he was in my apartment. We talked briefly over breakfast, but I didn't know what to say, so I didn't mention anything about the feelings he confessed. So what do I do? I said yes, but that wasn't binding. No, legally it is binding.
Unfortunately, it is binding.
I'm scared that he'll regret what he said if he remembers it.
Okay. I think you have 2 options here. 1, you carry on as if nothing happened. I think this is a bad option. 2, the guy was probably very nervous about confessing this to you. He probably had every intention of doing it that night, got a little too drunk, and made a whoopsie.
Oh, wait, he shit himself?
Yep.
Damn. No wonder he's pretending he can't remember.
I don't think there's any harm in being like, hey, so the other night you came over to my place and you spilled your guts and you asked me to be your girlfriend. I just want to say that I said yes, and I would like to do that. And then flip the tables and ask him out.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you said there's 2 options, and you were, in fact, wrong, because the third option is you get blackout drunk, go over to his place, and ask him out.
Yeah? Yes, you could do that.
Yeah, 100%. That's the way to do it. Ball, his court. They should meet. You're introducing them.
Because then you're just in the same situation where you're going to black out. He wakes up, or you wake up at his place, and he's going to be like, oh no, she came over and was super drunk. And then what? Then what?
And then he messages us, and he says, hey, boys, what do? We say, you have to get blackout drunk at her place. And eventually, the strain of this just alcoholic toll, either they're going to build up their tolerance so much that one of them will say it when they can remember, or they'll just get so sick of doing it that someone will bring it up.
Yeah, this is true. Or on their deathbed from alcohol poisoning, they'll be like, man, I wish this wasn't happening right now because I really could have seen a future.
And then we pop out of a cake and we say, you've both dated this whole time because it was legally binding the first time.
For a second there, I thought you were calling them cuz.
Cuz?
Like, I thought you were like, you were dating them the whole time, cuz.
That would have been a lot funnier, actually.
And I was like, okay, this is an interesting turn in your vernacular, but okay.
Well, it's part now. You've just slotted it into my vernacular, cuz.
Hell yeah, cuz.
I think, yeah, you know what? You're like, I'm worried that he won't, whatever. You know what? Fuck it. Bravery. That's what we're going to promote today, I think. I don't know if the rest of the questions promote that, but be brave. Fucking come at him hard. Real hard. Run at him as fast as you can. And you say, you asked me out. And I said yes. And then slam into him maybe a little bit. You know, not full. I don't know. Maybe. Just knock him over. Sit on him. Don't let him up till he talks about it.
It would be different if you said no. and you were worried that he would remember and didn't know. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't want to date this man and was like, "Oh no, I don't know how to bring it up. I don't," you know what I mean? That's a far worse situation.
Or if you had asked him, well, he was blackout and he said yes, because then maybe you couldn't trust that yes. But I feel like your deepest desires come out sometimes. I feel like this isn't a casual thing. You know what I mean? Like the thing he asked you, it came from a place. You know what I mean? It came from somewhere real, I imagine. And I assume that, it's real. So fucking mention it to him. Especially if you meant the yes.
That's the thing. It's like you said yes, so you have feelings for this guy too. So then ask him out.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be the guy asking you out. So ask him out. Be like, hey, the other night when you came over, we had a talk. You said you wanted to be exclusive with me or whatever you guys want to consider boyfriend and girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I would like that. What do you think?
And there's also no harm in going slow and just being like, hey, how about we give it a trial? Let's go on a date. Let's fucking you don't have to jump straight into exclusivity because, as you said, there's never been any space for romance, right? So give yourself some space. You don't have to dive in.
Yeah.
All right.
Hit me with 5.
Be quick, right? 5? I fucked up. I only had 9. This is by Night Chris 12. I found out the guy I've been dating for 3 months went on a hiking trip with his ex over the weekend. He's not aware of that I even know about her. I have to confront him about this, but don't know how. I met this guy online 3 months ago, and we've been going on dates and getting to know each other since then. We haven't met each other's friends or family, but have been hanging out consistently, having sex, and getting to know each other. About a month ago, he began being busy every single weekend. He does have a busy job and family that lives far away, but it starts sounding like an excuse to me. Out of curiosity, I looked him up on social media a few weeks ago. He doesn't seem to use it a lot, so I never really thought to add him on anything. And a profile of a woman with his dog also came up. I went down the rabbit hole of looking at her socials and saw they got their dog together a few years back and used to date. He never mentioned her, and their last pictures together were from 2018, so I tried not to overthink it. I even shared with him I'm not seeing anyone else last weekend, and he said he's not either. I also shared with him that when he goes days without texting me, always on the weekends, it makes me feel like he's not interested. I even told him it's okay if he's not interested, and I'd like to know the truth and would totally understand. This is all last weekend. He said he is interested, wants to keep seeing me, and felt bad I felt this way. I literally gave him an easy out. Fast forward to this weekend. He didn't tell me until Friday he's going on a backpacking trip with 2 of his buddies. He stopped replying to my text on Friday night, hasn't opened a Snapchat from me 2 days ago. I went to this girl's Instagram to see she posted pictures of a backpacking trip this weekend with only 1 tent in the pictures. She posted the same picture of a cliff he posted on the Snapchat story. I pretty much caught him in this lie, but don't know how to bring it up to him that I know this. Any and all advice to how I should approach this is appreciated. I absolutely plan to end this, but I think I need to tell him I know all of this.
What lie did she catch him in?
Yeah.
There's no lie, as far as I can tell. He might not have said, hey, I'm going on a backpacking trip with my ex. Mm-hmm. But 2018 was 3 years ago?
Yeah. And right? Hey, they've been a long fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
And they share a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So it's massively possible they are, in fact, friends.
Yeah. So it's like, it's definitely easier to say, oh, I'm going on a hiking trip with my friends, if the ex is, in fact, a friend. And like the whole, only 1 tent. It's like, when you go on a camping trip, you usually only bring 1 tent. Do you know how fucking big tents are? Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have your own tents. And maybe if it's like a big trip, like if there's 4 couples, then yeah, you probably bring a couple tents. But 3 people is enough for 1 tent.
Yeah. Also, if you're taking a picture, you're not going to be like, cool, let me get the whole campsite, which is usually a mess. It's probably like an Instagram, look at my pretty tent in this pretty sun. Mm-hmm. There could very well be a second tent. There is no lie. And also,
there's no lie here.
You're not exclusive, right?
Yeah, I mean,
he said he's not seeing anybody, and it's like, he could have just been like, oh, I am seeing people. You know what I mean? And you probably still would have been cool. I don't see why he would need to lie like that.
So, you can assume, if you want, that because he's spending time with his ex, he's also having sex with her.
I feel can we all get over this shit? I love how people are like, oh, he's texting this girl, that's fine. Wait, he's texting his ex? It's like, some people are actually friends with their exes, especially if you share a fucking dog.
Yeah. And especially, if enough times pass.
Mm-hmm. You're friends with your ex.
Yeah.
I'm friends with your ex.
One of them, at least.
Well, yeah.
But it's we dated fucking 11 years ago.
Damn.
It doesn't even make sense to me. So, I don't know. There's, in my opinion, This man has not lied unless he is sleeping with his ex, and then at
Hmm.
which point he probably should have disclosed, been like, yes, I am seeing other people,
Hmm.
regardless of like who those people are. And like, I understand that there might be a little bit more weight of being like, well, with you sleeping with your ex, like maybe you guys are angling to get back together. Who knows? But if he says, and you trust him, you know what I mean? Like if he says, oh, I'm not seeing anyone, going on a hiking trip with someone that you used to sleep with doesn't immediately indicate that they are still sleeping with that person. Like you are able to do that without fucking them.
Also, for all we know, the third friend is her boyfriend.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We don't know if there's a third person or, whatever. Now, my only. Because again, I do think this is massively overblown. I feel like it's the danger. Like, we had something, I think, last week or the week before of like finding people's exes. I think it was the guy who we weren't sure was even in the relationship anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, don't stalk your partner's exes, especially like, I don't know. I think it's just weird. Like, get over it. The only thing that gives me any kind of red flag vibes is that if you're saying like, oh, I feel that like if you're not interested, blah, 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 when you don't text me, if that's a concern of yours and you talked about it and he said he wouldn't do it and then starts ignoring you for the following weekend. But at the same time, when he told you he was going on a backpacking trip, like, was that almost or was it explicitly stated that he would be out of touch? Because I feel like most backpacking trips, especially if you're hiking, you wouldn't be on your phone the whole time because that would
Yeah.
suck.
Although he did say he was using Snapchat and shit, right? Or Instagram or
Yeah,
something.
he posted like a cliff on a,
Yeah.
But again, it's not like they're even dating, right? Or like exclusive.
And that's the thing. Like, you're right. Like, if I was seeing someone casually
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go fuck off in the woods for a while, that would be a clear indication that, like, I'm probably not going to be on my phone. Like, the whole point is to kind of get away from it all.
Yeah.
It might just have been bad timing that you had just had this conversation of being like, hey, when you ignore me on the weekends. So, yes, that's correct. I agree with you there. That does have a little bit of something that might need to be ironed out. It sounds like this person's already made up their mind, but I think it is completely overblown. I don't think he's lied.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be a little more chill with our expectations of people and what it means for like to have persisting relationships with people that we've already dated.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you ready to dive into the comments?
No, because I know what it is. Absolutely dump this man. Anybody who doesn't respect you, blah, blah, you know what I mean?
Just a text. We're done. Take a hike. Next one. Before you do this, send his ex screenshots of you and him flirting, making plans, and or a pic of you so she's aware he's cheating.
It's like,
Why confront him? It's a gift. He showed you who he is. Move on. Say something like, I gave thought over the weekend. I'm going to break up with you. Don't let him know. Make him confused. Why bother confront him? What's the benefit? Move on. Save yourself the hassle. Ghost him. Send a vague final text. Ghost him. Everyone's so saying stops the lies. Like, this is wild. There's nothing here that condemns this person at all.
no.
Maybe. Like, again, it's nothing that proves he's innocent either, but at the same time, it's like, it's circumstantial at best. And even then, you're not exclusive.
Like I said, the only thing that could, like, he could still be fucking his ex.
Yeah,
That is a
of course.
possibility. And the only time it could have been a lie is if he said, no, I'm not seeing anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only chance, the only opportunity he has to have lied.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe him, that's fine. You're welcome to not believe him. You know what I mean? We've said it a million times. Trust is the most important thing in a relationship. So if you can't trust this man right off the bat to, believe that he's not having sex with his ex, despite the fact that the only reason that you think he might be having sex with her is that he's on a camping trip with her,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe this isn't the one for you.
And that's fine. And at this point, it might seem like it's more in his favor than yours. Like, again, there could be things we don't know, but this seems like you've spiraled.
I feel like if
Not
there
good
was
luck.
more for her case, she would have put it on the table.
Oh, I'm assuming she's reaching as far as she can to make her case because
Yeah.
she's gone pretty far, which makes me believe that, like, this is a stretch, if anything, everything she's put down. And it's not enough. I'm sorry. It feels like your insecurities are overwhelming you.
We spent too long on this question. You're overreacting.
Yeah.
Next question.
All right.
Number 3.
3? Girlfriend wants me to come to her house to break up with her after we broke up by messages. By LW7SH. We've been dating for almost 4 years and broke up a week ago. We were angry at each other and didn't talk for a couple of days. Now that we're talking, she wants me to come to her house to break up properly because we've been dating for a lot of time. What should I do? I don't want to go just to let her family see me breaking up with her.
Don't go. Next question, number 2.
I disagree.
Okay.
You honestly think he shouldn't go?
If he doesn't want to, no.
But he only doesn't want to because of her family. So meet at a coffee shop. I feel like if you've been dating for 4 years, unless something horrendous happened or you feel like you're in danger, like the least you can do is have a fucking conversation with somebody. You know what I mean?
I guess, but also like you guys were so mad at each other that you broke up, and if you don't want to persist with the relationship, I say this out of the idea that like we need to get over the fact of like expecting that every relationship is going to end with a nice like neat bow on it, and you get closure and everyone gets to move. But it's like that's not how it works, unfortunately.
No, it isn't. But at the same time, I feel like we do still need to have like not politeness, but like give it at least a fair shake. You know, I do think like a face to face is not too much to ask. Once things didn't go, like, if they cheated on you and they fucked you over, whatever, you owe them nothing. If they're threatening you or you feel unsafe or whatever, you owe them nothing. If you just had an argument and you broke up and they just want something, like, I think, you know, if it's one meeting, it sucks, but it all sucks. Give them that, but, like, make it on your terms. So if you honestly don't want to go and be in her home with her family and all that added pressure, meet up at a park or, you know, at a coffee shop or something. Like, you don't always have to give them everything, but I really don't think there's any harm in just trying.
I understand your point. My concern is that this is a ploy to try to lure someone to like your home with the specific intention of breaking up with me properly. To me, if the deed is done, I would not be super keen on doing this either. I wouldn't be like, yeah, let me head on over so that I can experience a breakup the second time because you want me to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
why do I have to put myself through emotional hell or emotional turmoil for the sake of you because you feel like you haven't gotten something?
Yeah, that's fair. Again, like, I'm trying to like picture what happened, right? And it's like, for me, if something really bad happened, I wouldn't care. And maybe something really bad did. Like, I don't know what this argument was.
True.
But it's like, if it just happened and you were like, you know what, I'm done with it. I don't know. Like, when I broke up with someone, it was after a long time. It was a long time fucking coming. I should have done it a long time beforehand. And it's funny because I think she felt the moment she fucked up. And she literally like fled. Like, I was at work and we were having a big argument. I had to leave to go to work. And then we were like texting back and forth. And I don't know if she realized seeing it written down in black and white, but I definitely did. And like seeing it on a fucking text chain was just like different than having it in person. And I was like, this is absolute insanity and I can't live like this. And I don't know whether it was like how I changed my response to it or not, but I think she knew I was going to break up with her. So I came home, she wasn't there. And she didn't come home for like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, where are you? Like, are you coming home? And she was like, why? You have to say something? Just text me. Just call me. And like, I didn't want to break up with her over the phone, but I did because she just wouldn't come home. And then she was like, I'm coming home. Like, we need to talk. And I was like, fine, whatever. Like, I wanted to do it this way anyway, but I'll give you the, you know, satisfaction of doing it now.
But I think there's a difference between, because like this all happened in the span of a night, right?
This was like over 4 days.
No, I mean, like when you called to break up with her, she came home then?
No, the next day.
Okay. Because like it sounded like they said it was like a week or a couple days or whatever for this one where they broke up.
Broke up a week ago. Yeah, you know what? Like, I will just say, I do get where you're coming from. And you made a really good point where it's like, why should you have to break up with them on their terms? And I do think there's a lot of arguments to support you in terms of like how you broke up.
Yeah.
I also do think, you know, if you've been dating for 4 years and you've ended in any way amicably, you know what I mean? Obviously you had an argument, obviously you broke up. It's never particularly amicable.
I agree with what you're saying as well. Like, I get your side. Like, I get what you're saying.
I think it's a very nice thing to do. If someone wants to talk, I don't think there is, you know, we've talked about this before. I don't think there is that perfect closure, right?
No.
But you can help maybe give some, you know what I mean?
You're right. I think it all depends on how it ends. right? And how much of a how much weight you put on the time you spent with this person. It's a pro con situation. If you think it's going to cause you more pain to do this again a second time, then it would do benefit for you or her to deliver like closure, then no, don't do it. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point shooting yourself in the foot just to use a band-aid.
Yeah, but I'm also one of those people that will definitely put myself out to make somebody else feel better. So maybe that's just where I'm coming from.
Yeah. The thing is like, I understand exactly what you're saying. Through my breakups, I have learned that like my suffering doesn't necessarily, like, I shouldn't have to suffer in order for someone else's comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fine line to be walked there, because I also think that, like, as someone who is empathetic and preaches empathy, I think there's a fine line of, you know what I mean, being able to take that attitude and that mentality and putting your nose up and being like, well, you know, telling the truth would be very difficult for me right now, so I'm just going to lie. And that's not what I'm suggesting to move forward. But I think, and specifically when it comes to breakups, I think that, like, if you guys have broken up and someone then wants to do it again or wants a specific type of breakup, if that's not something that you want to do or that will be painful for you to do, then don't do it.
Okay. Well, how about we settle on this? Not that we, need to ever agree, but you don't have to. Flat out, do not have to. You owe no one anything ever, let alone when you're not in a relationship anymore. And it's like, if you don't want to, like, you cannot. You don't have to go and do it. And if you want to, you can, and it's as simple as that, I guess.
I think, like, if you can find, like, if you think this will also help give you closure too, like, if you can find some closure in, knowing that you ended this by giving her closure, like, if that helps put a nice bow on it for you as well, great. I like, but we don't have enough information. Like, I'd love to know why they broke up.
Yeah,
and that would really help inform my position on this. But I think, as a general rule, I would like to sort of stress the, like, closure is kind of a made up thing, and closure is something that you have to secure on your own. Relying on someone else, especially in a relationship, in order to get closure is a fool's errand and will only result in pain.
Yeah, like, I don't. Again, closure doesn't really exist, not in the way we want it to.
No.
You can kind of get, like, balms, effectively, you know what I mean? Like a little soothing gel, possibly, for the big wound. But even then, it's not closure.
No.
You have to heal on your own. So
that's the thing. It's like, closure is a made up, like, idea that your recovery is the onus of someone else.
So there's no requirement that you do it. You do what's best for you. If you have the energy or the pain tolerance to try to do something that's good for them, by all means go, but it's not going to magically make them better anyway.
And depending on how old you are, if they have older brothers, maybe just skip it for your own sake.
Also, yeah, like, fuck going to their family. That's awkward. You don't want to get, like, a breakup's between the two of you. Getting other people involved when it's, within the realms of amicability is awkward. So maybe try to negotiate for somewhere that's less, charged. All right, pick a number.
Let's go with 1
now. 1, okay. Buckle in. This is throwaway 974101064. How to do well in college when I have confidence but worry about, in quotes, reputation? I have a lot of confidence developed from this summer when I did a bunch of cold approaching. I'm not afraid to hit on random girls, but I worry about my reputation in college. I did stats. You can look here, and he has a link I'm terrified to click on. And calculated that if I hit on 80 different girls in the dining hall, there would be 8 girls that would have heard of me from one of their friends by the time I approached them. It's a simple model where if I approach a girl, she tells 6 friends, and they have a chance of telling their friends, and so on, and about 100 common links, which means when 2 girls have heard of me, they talk about me to each other. So I'm not sure what to do. I could approach a ton of girls in the dining hall, but I'd develop a reputation that would be bad, especially since I'm Asian, and not many Asians cold approach. Not sure what I should do here. Should I be more low-key about approaching in the dining hall, just strike up chats in the lunch line, and only ask to sit with them if we're vibing very well? For context, I go to a large state school with 30K people. Also, approaching means having a very chill conversation, and if we're vibing, getting her number.
Christ, my dude. Hey, if you think that romance and statistics and like creating some sort of wild statistic model or like number model,
The lunchroom go together?
yeah, like the whole thing just reeks of the fact that you have been brainwashed by like the pickup community that this mentality of approaching women en masse is the key to sexual success, and it's not. And I will say the one thing you did get correct is yes, people will know you as that creepy guy who hits on them while they're trying to eat.
Yeah, but I love how in his mind it's like, damn, this can only be a problem here, right? Because it's enclosed, it's gonna be the same people. But like, if I do this anywhere else, I'll be fine.
Yeah, also like the idea that women are going to talk about you. Hey, my dude, if they're talking about you, chances are you've done it wrong. Women aren't going to be like, "Oh, I met a really cute guy at the lunch line today." Probably not. What they will say, or what they will tell their friends, to be like, "Hey, has that weirdo fucking hit on you while you're getting mashed potatoes?" And they'd be like,
Well,
"Yeah, he talks to 80 people a fucking day."
to be fair, he never necessarily says he's developing a good reputation. It may actually have been what he meant. I don't know. I read it as him developing a bad reputation.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like I think he's afraid that people will look at him and be like, "Oh, there's the lunchroom Romeo."
The lunchroom creeper.
Yeah, which is a more accurate description of like I don't think like even at the bars we used to go to where we knew that there was one or two dudes who frequented, like the people who also went to those bars knew them and stayed
Yeah.
away from them.
Mm-hmm. And the people who didn't protected the ones who didn't know them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was, and yes, yeah, he's entirely right. And it's like, dude, this is not the way you do it. You shouldn't approach 8 girls a day every day in university at lunch and just like, damn, that's it. It's a numbers game.
And like here's like you've clued in on something so important and have focused on the wrong like conclusion. You've
Mhm.
clued in that women don't like this,
Yeah. You're
right?
just
Like
worried that people will be around long enough to tell other people.
yeah, like you've specifically noted and been like, "Hey, eventually people will like enough women will hate that I've done this to the point where all the women that I can try to do this to will have already heard about me." That's your move?
Yeah.
That's your fucking cool tactic, dude?
I also
No.
love that the takeaway isn't like, oh, women hate this, so maybe I shouldn't do this. It's like, damn, women hate this, but it's the same pool of women, so they'll all hate it.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
It's very troubling, and like my suggestion, my advice to you would be stop doing this. And should you come across a woman that you find attractive and have a natural means to strike up a conversation, as per you say in the lunch line, a line is a great time to talk to someone as long as it's a mutual, like as long as there's a reason to. If she has her fucking headphone, like her iPods in or her earpods, whatever the fuck they're called, if she has her headphones in and is on her phone or reading, she doesn't want to talk to you. And it doesn't matter how cool you are, whether you turn your fucking chair around backwards when you sit down.
Wait,
She's not.
wait, wait. If he turns his chair around backwards, it's a whole
No,
different story.
no, it's not, man. It's not the 80s anymore.
Damn, you're right.
Or I guess the early 90s was a big thing for that too. Like, just drop it. Have normal, natural, organic conversations with people instead of these manufactured.
I'm sorry, you're telling the statistics lunchroom man to have natural, non-fabricated conversations?
I know. The
But
thing
no,
is,
I'm just joking because making statistics is itself very unnatural and very fabricated.
but the thing is,
Stain says Stan.
I bet if he came up with some cool statistics, would be a great icebreaker.
100%. And that's the thing. He could use his evil powers for good.
Yes, like come up with crunch some numbers and come up with like a funny statistic of being like, oh, chances are like 90% of the people in here are going to get this. You know what I mean? Like come up with a lunch statistic and be like,
Or join the fucking math club and meet some other statistics nerds who
Some
will be
little,
like,
yeah.
who will actually be down for the shit you're spouting, as opposed to everyone else like myself who thinks it's very weird. And again, don't give them this weird statistic. Give them a normal, cool statistic that's not creepy.
Couple number crunching cuties? Hell yeah, baby.
Number crunching cuties. That's what you're looking for. That's what you want. That's what you need.
That's what
And
everyone wants.
maybe that's what you are. Because it
Maybe-
sounds like you could be a number cruncher cutie, but right now you're a lunchroom creeper, and we don't want that.
We don't want that. All right, hit me with whatever the last question is.
The last question.
So 5, I guess.
Okay. This is by Throw RA Megan X. I found a piece of my stepsister's clothing in my husband's car, struggling to find a reasonable explanation. Hi, going through a very stressful time right now and unable to vent to anyone in the family about it since it involves my stepsister. I appreciate that they said hi. Not a lot of people greet us. I could use some outside perspective to see if I'm being paranoid or maybe I shouldn't ignore this gut feeling I'm having difficulty ignoring. I, female 26, have been married to Joseph, male 31, for 2 years. Grew up with my stepfamily, have a 19-year-old stepsister. Relationship's always been okay. We've never been close. Ever since my dad got sick, I started coming over to help around the house. This was 4 months ago. Joseph helps out sometimes due to his work as a police officer. Doesn't have much free time. However, he tends to always offer to help my stepsister, like giving her rides to places or bringing stuff for her or fixing stuff for her. Thought nothing of it. My stepsister thought it was nice. I was glad he treats her as his sister, like he says, so I encouraged him to do all he can to help in these stressful times. Problem started days ago when I got inside his car and accidentally found my stepsister's sports bra in the glove compartment. He was with me inside the car when I discovered it. I asked him about it. He said it belonged to me, and I left it in the glove compartment, but he knows I don't wear these kind of bras, but my stepsister does. Besides, I only have like 3 bras. He's pretty much familiar with them. He said, well, it must have belonged to your sister then. I asked if he gave her any rides recently, and he said no. Last time she got in his car was almost a month ago, and he said she was sitting in the back, but that got me even more confused, because if she was sitting in the back, how did her sports bra end up in the glove compartment on its own? Also, we cleaned his car a week ago, and I'm sure he emptied the glove compartment at the time and would have seen it. My analysis got him pissed, asking what I was hinting at. I told him nothing, but it all seemed so weird to me. Not to mention my stepsister has a backpack where she carries her stuff, so how did her bra end up outside her backpack and in his glove compartment? He lashed out, calling me crazy and paranoid for suggesting something was off, told me to go ask my stepsister about it or forget about it. He went on about how ridiculous and dumb I was reacting this way and told me to drop it. I've said okay, but couldn't drop it. Kept thinking about these questions. Couldn't help but feel there's something off. I want to talk to my stepsister, but I'm worried I'd go about it the wrong way and she gets hurt, offended by my questions. I was willing to let this go, but the following aspects are making it hard. 1. I noticed his special treatment of my stepsister by offering to do things for her specifically, rather than my dad and stepmom. 2. I remember him talking about her looks on several occasions, but those might be casual comments. 3. He was once involved in an emotional affair, but he ended it after showing remorse. 4. He always cleans his car regularly and leaves nothing inside, so it was puzzling that piece of clothing was sitting inside the glove compartment for this long and he hadn't noticed. Am I overreacting here, or should I just leave this? And should I just leave this behind?
Okay, so the best way, in my opinion, to deal with this would be to take the sports bra and be like, "Hey, is this yours?"
Yeah.
To the stepsister and see what she says. If she's like, "Oh fuck yeah, that's where I went."
Where's the sports? Like, where is it right now?
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like, did you get it and you had this argument and like, do you just have it? Like, what's happening? In what situation do you just go and not go and talk to her?
there's a lot of things too. It's like, one, this man is apparently a meticulous car cleaner, and just because you keep your car clean, like most people just shove shit in the glove compartment. Like,
yeah, when you're cleaning, you don't clean the glove compartment.
No,
it's a man who doesn't have a car, but you know.
But like, unless there is precedent that like when he cleans his car, he like cleans everything. Like, if you know he cleans his glove compartment, then okay, great. But if you're just saying that like, oh, he cleans his car a lot, like he details the interior, like there's also a good chance that like what he did was she was in the back seat, took something out of her backpack, sports bra fell out while he was cleaning the car, found it, shoved it in the glove compartment thinking it was yours, completely forgot about it.
Yeah, you say you have 3 bras. 1, that seems weird, but 2, this guy probably doesn't know what they are. I don't know.
Yeah, you say he's familiar with it, but like,
I don't know how many bras my girlfriend has.
Yeah, my partner doesn't have a whole lot of them either, but I could there's a black one.
There's an orange one. There's an orange sports bra for sure.
That's the extent of mine. I couldn't tell you. I think there's a white and gray flowery one.
Okay.
But again, that I could be. I don't know. I don't know.
Also, I
So
doubt she knows how many boxers I have, apart from the one I tore off me while dancing the other day, literally.
and that's the thing. It's like, yes, I understand that you think that, like, oh, he's seen, but like, we're not looking at the bra unless it's specifically
No.
a bra that's like meant to be looked at.
Maybe like a favorite lingerie you might recognize.
Yeah, or like a bra that you wear when you're going out, and you're like, okay, all right,
Mhm.
the girls are
The
looking
girls are
good.
popping.
This one is tough because you're always going to be like, in these situations, unless you get like photo or video evidence,
Mhm.
there's no real way to like ever tell if someone's telling the truth. There isn't.
No.
But I think my other thing is like, hey, friends, if this happens and you are innocent, do not accuse your partner of being crazy or being paranoid. Talk to them rationally. Nothing makes you more guilty than being like, you're being crazy, you're being a crazy bitch,
Mhm.
and like refusing to talk about it. I understand that you might be offended. I understand you might be insulted that they think that you would do this.
Yeah.
But to be that dismissive and that like aggressive about it,
Mhm.
nothing reeks of guilt more
More
than that
than
kind
like
of.
attacking them back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Put yourself in their shoes and be like, yeah, this looks suspicious as fuck. Like this is almost TV levels of suspicious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
But
here's the thing. If this man is a meticulous car cleaner, do you not think he would be like, oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't keep the evidence of my affair in my car?
yeah, because like the it's not even on his side of the car. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly where a passenger would maybe go. There are better places to put it. Also, like if he gets his car detailed, maybe they found it and put it in there for him. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's a okay, look, let's get it out there. It's suspicious as fuck, right?
Yep.
I get it. There's no way you see this and you're not like, yeah, this is suspicious as all fuck. One, talk to your sister, right? Because at the very least, she can be like, yeah, that's mine or it's not. If it's not, hey, that's a whole other fucking
Yeah, there's a
bag
whole
of
different
worms,
game.
right? A bag of spiders, even because they're gonna be up in the corners of your roof making webs. Um, but like talk to her and hey, maybe she's in on it, maybe she's lying, whatever. You need that step down so that later on, if things get weird, you can be like, oh, bleh, whatever, right? He's 19, she's 19, he's very like older. So this could also be creepier or worse. And it's like you need to talk to her no matter what, whether she's telling the truth, lying, in a bad situation, anything like this. You need to like make that contact because if you don't start that conversation, you're never going to get anywhere. See what she says and just like, I guess, follow the fucking threads, right? Because at this point, like, you can't prove anything. So by all means, be suspicious. And by all means, like, keep a fucking weather eye on the horizon. But like, there's nothing you can really do right now to get the absolute truth. But you definitely have to start by talking to her.
Yeah, 100%. So good luck. Hopefully this doesn't suck. But yeah, you got to talk to the sister and get to the bottom of this.
See what she says and work from there. Because like if she has a weird fucking answer or if she has a, because at this point, if they were doing something, I'm sure he's talked to her and they've constructed an excuse, right?
Yeah.
See if it makes sense. I don't know, but you really need to be like, just talk to her. She's your fucking sister, stepsister or not. That's like, that should have been the first thing you did. And then see how those stories gel together and like, work from there. But yeah, by all means, now that something weird has happened, you can keep an eye out. Maybe just try not to let it interact in your daily life. Like if this becomes a problem, like if you're so hung up on it that you can't act normally, like it's going to suck if this isn't the issue, right? Because you could ruin your marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. And my dude, relax. Don't freak out.
If you're in this situation, look at it from their perspective. It's just so suspicious. All right.
Yeah. Let's do one more.
All right. Oh, fuck. All four are really good. I was going to pick one, but I'm going to let you pick it. 1 to 4, dude.
Okay, we'll do 3.
How spicy? How spicy do you want it?
How about the spiciest one you got?
All right. This is by Countless Thoughts. I, 28-year-old male.
Sorry, it made me think of Careless Whisper.
That's fair. My 28-year-old male girlfriend, 25-year-old female, says she doesn't think she can be with me if I get vaccinated. This has been a stressful week for me, and I have consistent headaches and just overall in a depressed state of being dealing with this. 2 weeks ago, the school district, California, my company does contracting work for, announces it will be mandating COVID vaccines for all staff, including contractors, to work within the district. Naturally, our company told us we all had to get required. Naturally, our company told us, all employees, including myself, that we will be required to do it as well if we want to continue employment with them. I am not anti-vaccination, but I have not gotten it out of fear of losing my relationship between my girlfriend and myself. I always planned on getting it. Just every time I mention it, she will bombard me with these facts and honest articles, which is just lies that these fake media companies post to attract people. Her stories for not getting it include microchip tracking, aborted fetus cells in the vaccine, having chimpanzee DNA in it, causing women to become infertile if near someone with a vaccine, used to control our minds / change us, used to bind the soul to this world so we can't ascend, and many other things. I told her my company is mandating the vaccine, and she told me she thinks she can't be with me if I get it, since it goes against her beliefs and what she stands for. She is pressuring me to quit my job and look for another one that won't require them. She does not have the financial means to support us, and honestly, if it wasn't for my job, we wouldn't have a roof to sleep under. I make good money now, consistent work, and provide enough to support both of us, while she isn't working to follow her dream of starting a small business making crafts. She has family to fall back on if I lose everything. I essentially don't, which means I'll be homeless again. Family I do have will think I'm stupid for throwing everything away and losing everything I worked hard for. I'm at the point I'm so over everything, I just want to sleep all the time.
I think she's doing you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
The anti-vax crowd has made their choice. They've chosen to believe crazy things like, you know what I mean? Like you can want to look at the vaccine and be like, hey, we don't know the long-term side effects of it. Okay, sure. But to then be like,
every vaccine we've ever invented, the side effects have been very widely known within 4 weeks. So,
yes,
there's that.
100%. And I agree. Like, I am pro-vaccine. I'm pro-science. I am pro getting vaccinated to end this nightmare time that we live in. But when someone says something along the lines of bind our mortal soul so that we can't ascend, it's not a fact thing anymore.
That's the thing. It's like, I understand the fear. For me, I'm terrified of needles. You know what I mean? Like, if I could have not gotten the vaccine and gotten anything else that would help me, that'd be great. Because I fucking hate syringes so much, it's insane. There isn't, so I got it. And that's fine. And even if this person had, like, even if it was something crazy and it was, like, the one crazy thing, you'd have a little bit more of, like, I don't know, some sympathy for them. But, like, when it's kind of just, like, throwing shit at the dartboard and being like, oh, I guess microchips and also the vaccine is more powerful than God and it steals a soul away from him. Like, what? You believe in God, but you think this vaccine is more powerful than him? Damn. Worship the vaccine, then.
She didn't say anything about God. She said the soul and ascension.
Yeah, I assumed it was a religion thing, so maybe...
To me, that sounds crazier than God. That sounds like some fucking, L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, hey, maybe. But the thing is, she's throwing everything out there. And also, let's be fair. I wanted to, like, tiptoe through this question. I don't understand how we've gotten to the point where, like, stating facts is, like, a thing we shouldn't do. It's like, the vaccine helps. It is making people survive far more than they were beforehand. And that those are facts. You know what I mean? I can understand hesitancy. I can understand fear. Some people can't get it, and that's fine. The fact that this person is trying to make you, like, if it was anything else as well, aside from this vaccine, and she was trying to make you quit your job, we'd be like, fucking leave her.
Yeah. So I had an argument on Facebook the other day about the safety of the vaccine. So using numbers provided by Google and stuff like that, we know that like 5.5 billion people have gotten their first dose. Like at least one dose has been administered. I was then given, from the people I was arguing with or debating with, they gave me a site that was, I think it was OpenVerse or MetaLerts or something like that. And that is the system that we use to track adverse events from vaccines. So using the numbers, there was 1.4 million adverse effects from vaccines. In regards to COVID, there was 650,000 adverse events from the COVID vaccine. If we take that into a consideration, I did all the math. There is a 0.0001118 repeating chance of having a adverse event from the vaccine.
And
If
some of them are like super minor too, right?
one of them includes like sore shoulder.
Well, that's everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Or like shoulder injury or something. So
okay.
Very vague and very broad. If we want to talk about the people who have died as a result of COVID-19 vaccines, and this again, I have no reference as to what their current like pre-existing medical conditions, what their health state was when they got it. I don't have any of that. But people who have died and have then been linked medically through this reporting service to the COVID vaccine, you have a 0.0000025% chance. I looked up on NASA. You have a greater chance to be killed by a meteor than by the COVID-19 vaccine. And these are numbers used by the people who are saying that the vaccine is dangerous. These are the numbers that they will parrot to you the second you say, "Oh, the vaccine is safe," and they're like, "But here's the number of people who have died."
Yeah,
and these are also the people who would say, "Oh, COVID has a 98% survivability chance. Why are we worried about 2%?"
Yeah,
but all of a sudden they're very concerned.
Wild. And I honestly, I believe it stems from like a lack of empathy in a sense, where it's like you can't imagine, or even imagination. It's like you can't imagine these things happening to you. Whereas like going and getting a vaccine is a thing you have to do. So all of a sudden it's like, damn, I don't want to have to do a thing. Like it baffles me. Like 1,700 people died this week in America from COVID. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be more, I imagine, than everyone who's died or been injured by the vaccine worldwide. Like, I don't know. It's fucking batshit. Anyway, you're going to lose your job and you're going to be tied to this person who clearly doesn't give a shit about you. Those, even if we want to boil it down to like the facts and not kind of the wider issues, which there are definitely some.
And let's face it, this is only going to get worse. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the things that people have latched onto and have then since spiraled downwards with, like first it was 5G is causing COVID. Then it was it's being used for the Great Reset. Now the vaccine is being used as a mass culling event for population control.
Which there's like, I'd love to even just like sit her down and be like, cool, pick one and explain it for like 5 minutes, because why would anybody want to kill? Like, for example, I think in Ontario, we're like reaching about 90% of people vaccinated right now.
We're very.
Why would you want to fucking kill 90% of the population, especially the 90% that actually obeys the government? You know what I mean?
And your military and your police force,
military, and
your medical support.
The most important people, you know, which doesn't include me, are being vaccinated first, right? It's like you want to kill them? No, like the government wants to reopen and, you know, continue as things were, make money. Those are the things. Like the economy is tanking because of lockdowns. They want to get rid of them. It's in their best. Anyway, we could go on about this for ever.
So the dating and sex advice aspect of this is leave this person. They're not good for you and are probably going to get the virus and make you sick.
Yeah, they don't care about you. Your like career is in jeopardy, which obviously I assume you have worked hard for and are doing well in. You're also looking after this person. So the fucking wild balls of this person to be like, hey, fuck your job that you're looking after me with, go get another one. Like, just look after yourself, both financially and health-wise and mentally, because this person is bad news all around. And go get your shot and, you know, drink lots of water. Your arm's going to hurt.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
So that's going to do us for this, the question parts of this. But at the end of every episode, we like to peruse online dating such as Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, and look through profiles and comb out red flags, talk about what works and what doesn't work in an effort to make your online dating experience a little more enjoyable.
You ready?
I am.
Quote, a truly amazing girl, New York Times. Quote, funniest person I know, Louis C.K. Quote, one of this generation's most brilliant minds, Mensa International. Quote, this chick could kick my ass in a heartbeat, Chuck Norris. Quote, by far my favorite grandkid, my grandma. Quote, Chewbacca.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of cute. I don't know if using Louis C.K. This is
Right?
probably made a while ago, I assume.
Maybe. I don't know.
But maybe using you Louis C.K. There's plenty of funny people out there. You could have done any of them. You know,
Yeah,
maybe,
that honestly, that's the only thing that pinged me as well.
yeah, maybe choose Bo Burnham. Update your profile to update your comedian choice, and this will be an 8. I'll give it an 8. As of right now, I'm going to give it a 5 because Louis C.K.
Yeah, I get it. 100%. I actually agree. I think like a 6. That hit me.
This is Jalen. She's 18. Need someone to roll me a joint, boss me around, and carve their name in my thigh.
Ooh, I'm worried about that last bit because it seems too specific to be fake.
Yeah, I like they're 18, so maybe that's a TikTok joke. Are they joking about something on the TikTok?
Is it something we said? did something we said become a meme? I don't know. I feel like that's something we would say.
Yeah, anytime like any jokes about like self harm or self like mutilation like that always skeeve me out because I'm like I don't know if you're joking, and I don't. It makes me uncomfortable, so I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because I'm assuming it's a joke. I'm just worried that like the wrong person will be like, yeah, you know.
That's what makes me uncomfortable.
So for mine, I realize I can't read this one out.
Okay.
It's real bad.
Okay. Then don't.
So I was gonna read my next one, but I looked at it properly and like we can't.
No, we can't do that.
But I will move on to the next one, which is Ethan. The judge said 30 days on Tinder and he'll drop the charges. So here I am.
Okay. It's funny, but like inherently kind of makes it sound like you're a sex criminal.
Yeah, yeah. It's also like a new way of saying they're like, oh, I don't want to be on here, but my friends made me. You know what I mean? It's like it's got that reluctancy. It's got like a weird, like maybe I've done some shit, but it is funny and I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.
I'm giving it an 8.
This is Kay. Full disclosure, I won't get attached to you. Hashtag emotionally unavailable. Ask about my tattoos since you can't see any of them. And then tongue out emoji.
If you're looking for a casual hookup or just to bone, sure. The tattoo thing is kind of fun, I guess. It's a little risque. You can't see them wink.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like I want to learn more about you than I want to learn about the fact that you can't be emotionally fucking available. Like,
yeah,
I don't give a fuck that you're emotionally unavailable. It's like, if it's casual, it's casual. If it's not, it's not. It's like those are the things that are important, not that you are emotionally unavailable. Because even if it's casual, you should still be emotionally engaged, right?
And we'll hash out the parameters of a relationship when it gets to it. Like,
exactly. Yeah. If that's your defining thing, I'd rather know that you fucking, make chainmail in your spare time or really like ginger ale. I don't know. That one's shit. Never mind.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 5.
You got more?
I got one. And you know what? I can't tell if we've done it before. And I don't think we have, but I think we've done one that's almost word for word, which has me worrying that it's either a bot or the world should just die. But the person who sent it to me promised that they had not sent it in before. My personal hell is trying to find traditional husband material in this post-apocalyptic liberal cesspool of a city where everyone's a polyamorous, communist, pansexual.
We've 100% done that.
That's why I thought so.
Yeah.
They promised it wasn't.
They lied. This is Sam. You could maybe do worse. Shruggy emoji.
Part of me loves the self-depreciation. Part of me hates it. I don't know where it, like, is it like funny, like, lol, I'm good, or like, oh, I'm actually a miserable person?
I don't know.
It's a 7.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 as well. This is Paulina. We can play Mario Kart while my cats watch. Then I inevitably beat you, and my cats laugh at your embarrassing loss.
You know what? She seems pretty cool, but the cats seem rad as hell.
Yeah. I like these spite cats.
Yeah, I would do it because 1, Mario Kart, yes. 2, she confident. 3, cats. 4, cats will fuck you up too.
Yeah.
It's a 9.
I'm also going to give it a 9. And this is my last one.
Okay.
Candles and wine. Looking for a date. Very simple. I don't smoke and drink, but always craving cold beer. Gym addicts, rowing, running, swimming, bodybuilder, not anymore, but gaining my muscle back. I love all the sports. Avid Leafs fan and Jays fan. Marvel, The Office, Disney, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings. The truth is above our understanding sometimes.
I think I might need to have you reread the whole thing.
Okay. Candles and wine. Looking for a date. Very simple. I don't smoke and drink, but always craving cold beer.
Okay.
Gym addicts.
Okay. That was part of where it tripped me up, because she said candles and wine and then says she doesn't drink.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing. She says she's a bodybuilder, but then says she isn't.
Yeah.
Confusing. There's a lot of contradictions here. Sorry, keep going.
Gym addicts, rowing, running, swimming, bodybuilder, not anymore, but gaining my muscle back. Love all the sports. Avid Leafs fan, Jays fan. And then a bunch of like Marvel, The Office, Disney, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And then finishes with a quote. The truth is above our understanding sometimes.
Okay, so the truth often isn't above our understanding. In fact, it's quite basic. That's worrying me. It sounds like you're an anti-vaxxer.
Yes.
2, I love that you're letting us know your likes, but you listed the most basic shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, you love Marvel? You love Lord of the Rings? You love The
You like
Office?
Disney?
Like, we all love those things. They're like the most basic common denominator shit. Like, again, as a person who's a massive fan of all of those things, it's not illuminating. That doesn't shine a light on any part of you. You may as well be like, likes, breathing, Netflix,
Yeah.
hot drinks, cold drinks. This is a whole trip. I don't like this profile. It's a 3.
Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing. Doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot of contradictions. There's a lot of basicness. And then you kind of sound like you don't like the truth or facts.
Yeah. Then there's like that weird sort of anti-vax dog whistle at the end.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I don't know. There are a lot of things that are just true. So, like, we live in a post-truth world, and it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for listening, friends. That's going to do us for our episode. If you have a question or you would like to support the show, you can head on over to fbuddiespodcast.com or plentyofbeef.ca and either click the contact or the Patreon form or both. And Patreon will take you to where you can support the show for 3 or our 4th secret tier of options in which you can financially support the show. If you don't have the cash and you still want to support the show, recommend it to a friend. Give us a like on any of the various social media platforms or podcast apps that you listen to or use. And then if you want to send in a question, all you have to do is hit the contact form, put in your name, and we'll keep it completely anonymous, and we'll get to your question as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities, for their song Paper Stars. And thank you to all our patrons, because you guys are fucking amazing.
Thank you very much.
You ready?
Yep.
So I saw this one in a screenshot, and I didn't believe it. So I typed it in myself to Google, and it's, is Lola Bunny a tomboy? And like, you know the way when you search things on Google, sometimes like a text thing pops up?
Yeah. Like the predictive, yeah.
Well, no, not the predictive, but like, you know, when you like, you know, if you even like try to convert like mills to liters, it sometimes comes up as like the actual like in Google thing. And sometimes it'll pop up with like a Google quote before the links.
Yeah.
So if you type in, is Lola Bunny a tomboy? It says, Lola Bunny is a cartoon character from Warner Bros. Studios. She's very attractive, unbearably beautiful, and insanely sexy female tomboy anthropomorphic rabbit. Has been established as having a romantic involvement with Bugs Bunny, as well as being his main love interest and girlfriend. Google, you gotta calm down.
Okay, but that's from the feature, like characters in fandom.
But it's still like the choice quote that they choose.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably the one. Yeah,
it's weird.
I thought you meant that Google specific, like this was like a Google fact.
No, but you know the way, like, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yes. Yeah.
People got chill on this rabbit, man.
I thought we were done with Lola Bunny, but I think it's just beginning. We're
Hey,
post-truth.
When you're around Lola Bunny, it keeps rising. You can only keep it flaccid for so long.
My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. Come up your spine.
We've been your fuck buddies. How are you having such a hard time with this?
I don't want semen in my spine.